Hey everybody, it's Bo here from Guitars and Games. Welcome into the channel. Welcome in. How are you all doing today? Hopefully you all are doing well. We are going to have another reaction today. We're going to listen to Ren and Chris Webby's new song, Neurodivergent. Hopefully you all are excited. Check out the new stuff Ren's doing. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's fun, kind of poppy, upbeat, so we're going to keep going with the flow here. Before we jump over, though, to the reaction, I just want to remind you that we are now powered by Rogue Energy. You can go to rogueenergy.com and get 10% off your order with my code Guitars&Games. Check it out. You get a good product, I get a little exposure, and everyone wins in the end. But let's go ahead and jump over the reaction. I will see you all in just a second. All right. Ren and Chris Webby, Neurodivergent.
Stay calm, boy. My thoughts are burning like the napalm. I think I need to get away from this noise. I hate the places that I came from. Destroy, I'm burn a message from the preacher. Subliminal, out of speaker. I never paid attention either. There's something strange about my demeanor. Don't feel pity for this sick boy. I've been sitting pretty with prescriptions, flipping stimulants.
Dude. Oh? Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. That just caught me. I don't know.
Don't feel pity for this sick boy. I've been sitting pretty with prescriptions, flipping stimulants and edibles. It's medicines, cerebellum, repairable, tweaking the biochemical peaking. I feel incredible. But wait a second, need dopamine. My focus goes towards smoke machine. Precursor birds from L-tyrosine. And my racetrack doors very psychedelic. Deciphering maybes, I might have been. The spiraling Fibonacci, Vicodin. The piloting Kawasaki, ninja thing. I bring to a big topic, begin and go, off script, status quo, car twisted, the roll, top lip split, explode, misfit, don't fit. What makes a person? Neurodivergent. Sick for so.
That is kind of a thing that's like come up recently, hasn't it? I'm not too familiar with like a lot of the new thinking, you know what I mean? Or the new like actual like medical journals about it and stuff. I used to do some I took some classes in a thing called evolutionary medicine or Darwinian medicine. Depends on which school you're at. And it didn't focus on the diseases. It focused on the evolutionary cause of diseases. So like based on like, the environment and the ecosystem that you grew up in, certain things that nowadays are bad for you were beneficial back then. Like if you're African American or or African, a big problem today is sickle cell anemia. A lot of African Americans have sickle cell anemia, and it's a really painful, horrible thing. But if you go back in time, people who had sickle cell gene have a bigger resistance to malaria than if you don't. So the origin, being in Africa of malaria would that was beneficial to you to have that gene, which helped prevent malaria, which at the time, in history was a bigger problem. And as time moved forward and medicine moved forward, now we have sickle cell anemia because we don't have malaria, but we still have that gene hard coded into the DNA that's evolved over time, and it's things like that. Like it gets you thinking like, why are things the way they are today based on how it would, where its path through history. And it's interesting to like read about it. And it's interesting to read about all this like new psychological stuff and diagnoses and things, because like I think like if I had been officially diagnosed as a child, I think I would have been diagnosed with autism or neurodivergent or some type of, I would have been on the spectrum. Like, and it's interesting that like today, it's just interesting to see how psychology and psychiatry evolve over time to explain things that we didn't understand in the past. That's where I'm going with that.
Neurodivergent. They told me I was broken, nothing but a defect in my head. Said that I was hopeless, just a fucking reject hanging on by a thread. But after all the pills that they got me, it turned me to a zombie. So welcome to the dawn of the day.
That's another thing. It's like everything has to be medicated. You know, you're upset, you need medication. No, I'm just upset because the world's a giant fucking dumpster fire. You know, and like, who knows what shit's going to happen next that just destroys, you know, and it's just crazy that like, you know, back then, you know, in the past, oh, just give them a little bit of Prozac, he'll be fine, you know, and it's, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Zombie, so welcome to the dawn of the dead. In the handicap spot, just to see that doctor. And this is what he said. Yeah, he said, I got a touch of autism. Piece of my puzzle is missing. While the attention deficit disorder tunnels my vision. But see, this world's an asylum and shit. We all in the system. And our sanity's the motherfucking cost of admission. You see that glitch?
That is a fucking bar right there. That is a fucking bar.
The tunnels my vision, but see this world's an asylum. We all in the system. And our sanity's the motherfucking cost of admission. You see that glitch in the algorithm, that's me. Don't fit in a crowd, I lift the boundary. Going sick, let it out and flip. They found me with a misfits round, so bitch allow me to show 'em what I came to do. Shut the blinds and keep the noise down, cause it's about time to let them all into a madman's mind. Not well, but hell, I feel fine. Go, whoa, off script status. Whoa, got twisted. He whoa, top lip split. Explode, whoa, misfit, don't fit. What makes a person neurodivergent? Sick for certain. Neurodivergent. Sick entirely.
This is this video is awesome. This video is really awesome. Yeah, it's just because it's fun to like, from a science perspective, to like watch all this stuff evolve, you know, watch things change and watch like all these new understandings come out and like things that like, you know, they're just like, oh, we didn't even realize, you know, we needed, you know, it's just really fun to watch like science change and evolve and things that were mysteries before become, you know, explainable. And that's really, really cool. And she's got a claymore.
Don't mind my anxiety or my non-sobriety. Doctors lie much they try to silence me. Whoa, just a product of society. Well, that's fine on me.
What's she gonna do? Yep. All right. I will see you all in a second. Well, that was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun. And it's true. It's like, you know, so the thing that I think is funny is what's funny is that artists are the ones who are really more accepting of this neurodivergence thing and like all these different psychiatric like diagnoses and types of personalities that are coming forward. Because like I think people who are in the art community, painters, writers, musicians, you know, sculptors, like artists who create, artists who make things and put themselves into it. I think we've known about this for a long time, even though we haven't been able to articulate it. You know, we haven't been able to talk about what really is going on, but I've just known so many artists who now are neurodivergent or, you know, like autistic and stuff that people would never have thought before would just label them as quirky artists. But in the artistic community, a lot of these things are celebrated, you know, and have been for a long time. People's differences and different ways of thinking and seeing the world have always been celebrated in the artistic community and encouraged. You know, and I think that's one thing that we as artists have been ahead of the curve on. We may now have been able to specifically articulate it, but I think the artistic community out there, you know, understands that people view things differently. And what your view is not always what someone else's view is. But I think that's pretty cool. But I am going to leave that here. Thankfully, I'm sorry to go on ranty. Go ranty. I will leave you all here. Thank you all so much for coming in and checking out the video. I do appreciate it. Hope you all have a great day. Peace and love. Like, comment, subscribe. And just have fun out there, all right? Try and bring a little bit of light into the darkness around you. And I will see everybody later. Peace out.